gentlemen, thank you for having me here. This is the first time I've actually been inside this Bernard Mabeck building. I was actually wondering if this was part of the park system. I was told that it's a private house, and I come out of the Bricklayers and Tilelayers Union, so I like this Flemish bond and the stonework that I see on here that probably 2 generations ago my predecessors put on. But I'm here, and we've been talking to different clubs in different areas in town, you know, for the last month or so, and I just want to say that Measure B is a poorly written piece of legislation. It doesn't do what it's going to say that it's going to do, and it frankly has nothing to do with pension when it really comes down to it. It has nothing to do with pension. What this is ultimately, and I don't, like I said before, I don't know who the hell wrote this thing. The judge has already thrown out part of the pieces in there because it's so poorly written. But basically what it is, it's an attack on the health care of public sector workers. That is essentially what it is. 70% of the so-called savings that are coming into this piece are attacks on health care. You take a $50,000, $45,000 nursing assistant, or you take a custodian that works in the city that makes that amount of money, who already pays $8,100 some dollars a month. If you have a child, if you're a single parent with a child, and you're paying, and these are the facts from the health plan, if you're paying $8,100 a month right now, you're going to end up paying another $5,000 a year. $8,100 a year, you're going to pay another $5,000 a year as you move forward. That is basically what it is. 70% of what is in that bill is moving forward to take care of health care. This is the city of health care. That is where we're moving forward. If you talk to the director, the new director who took it over for Claire Murphy in the pension department right now, when I met him a few weeks ago, he said, "Tsunami, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. This is the most well-funded pension fund of any major city in the United States. This is not Vallejo. This is not San Diego. This is not the other cities. This is a well-funded pension fund that's moving forward." Wall Street created some horrible problems at the state level and at the city level for so many years right now. Workers aren't working any less hard, but there is definitely some structural deficits because of what happened in Wall Street. And all the estimates, Mayor Newsom said there's so many holes in the grand jury report, he hasn't got time to talk about all of them, and I don't have more than a few minutes to talk about them. But one of them is that all the numbers that came out of there were all based on the Lehman Brothers piece when everything was down. All actuarial stuff that was taken care of and talked about was all based on what happened, whatever it was, 2 years ago when the market crashed. I don't know how many of you have your own personal portfolios or other pension funds. I have a bunch of defined pension funds because I've worked in various places. These things are all moving back into the right direction. Okay? There is some structures, that's why there's having problems with the budget and wherever else that we move forward. And we're going to get out of this stuff, and we're going to be there in a bad time. There is a reason that there's not a single public official that is endorsing Measure B. Matter of fact, they're all against it. From Nancy Pelosi to Sean Ellsburn, the entire Board of Supervisors, Mayor Newsom, the senators, our assembly people, everybody is against this because of how horribly written this is. And people have selected memories. Everybody in the city, unless there's a couple of miscellaneous groups that I don't know about, are paying between 7.5% and 9% right now of their own pensions. They're paying that. I mean, it's just a fact. It's not true that people are not paying for their pension funds. I mean, people have to know. And if everybody also remembers, in order to save city services in San Francisco, the public employees in San Francisco, just within the last few weeks, the last couple of months, gave up $250 million, $250 million, as Mayor Newsom would say, to make sure that we are going to, during these bad economic times, we're going to save the parks, we're going to keep the clinics open, we're going to continue to work to make sure that the streets are clean during these difficult times. San Francisco is one of the healthiest urban centers in the United States, and what Mr. Adachi is putting on the ballot right now with paid signatures that has been paid for, and they were up to $5 a signature towards the end as they were scrambling to get on, and very deceptive also, saying this is going to save our schools. And the teachers are extremely angry because it's going to affect their health care as well as it's going to affect the paraprofessionals in town. This is just horribly written legislation. He didn't speak to any of the unions. He didn't speak to the Board of Supervisors. Didn't speak to the mayor. I mean, this is just the wrong way of doing things. When we work together as a city family here in San Francisco, we take care of things. And it's been evidenced by what we have been doing during the last, matter of fact, even within the last 2 years of these cycles. But $250 million is moving forward. And this is not a pension plan that is in trouble. This is not a pension plan that's in trouble, and we're going to get through this together. We want you to vote no on B. It's bad medicine, and it really does not do what it purports to do.